Welcome, friends. I'm live again. So we are going to have a little bit of fun tonight, hopefully, and to proceed with our last time stuff, which was cleaning up a little bit, or in my opinion at least, cleaning up the default template of the Xamarin Forms project or solution template from Microsoft. So just a quick reminder, we have everything on GitHub here. It is shown here. It's github.com/codingfreak and then Xamarin Forms sample. And everything should be up to date here. So let me take a quick look. And what we have, and maybe I'll apply my one window layout here so that I can see everything and see you guys chat if you will. Okay, so that is kind of our current state. Let me just take a look. Maybe I'll need to hit the simulator. Is it even building? I don't know. I don't have my Mac ready, I think. Let me see if, yeah. Just a second. I will make things ready here on the side. And let's see. It's booting up. Yeah. Let me see if this is working right now. My Mac came up. Looks good. Starting IDB. So that we can see what our current state is. I hope everyone is well, even if he's not looking live. So if you watch this recording, hope you're well. I got some comments from the last video. Some nice ones, some interesting ones. Was pretty glad that it went out and had a pretty good discussion with the guy for which I made the reaction video, and we are kind of in contact right now. And if you've seen the comments, we even talk about maybe doing a session together. We are just planning this currently. Let's see. He moves to another place, he told me. So good luck for you guys. If you see this, have a good time. Okay, so is this starting now or what? Yeah. Let's see. Come on. We are live, so that means I can chill. Kind of. Because it's my spare time, you know. I just like to hang out on YouTube on Saturdays. Why not? It's cool. Share some stuff. Waiting for Visual Studio together, always fun. I can't pause, you know. I would, but I can't. Makes no sense. There it is. So, let's go. Okay, coming up. And now we see our second screen, our first screen again, I hope, which should, show the busy. It totally does. Here, just a simple binding. Okay, cool. So let's go on with this. Let's leave the simulator open so I don't need the XAML preview. So what I want to do today is I just came here and did some base typing. I have now a base model, which is kind of cool because it implements iNotify property changed. I brought FODI into play which is property changed module, FODI. Just a quick reminder, if you didn't watch the other one, FODI just takes care about everything which implements iNotify property changed and will automatically call this method whenever a property, the setter of a property, is called and the value changes. So that way we only need to implement our models like this. It's pretty easy. And FODI will not only take care about the setter here. Let's say here we have two setters for text and for description. What FODI also will do, it will detect that this property kind of depends. You can tell him, I think with attributes, that this depends on this and that, but I think he can do it by its own, and we can prove this because this isValid property currently is bound to the save command in the new item view model here. So the command says, okay, what should be executed on save and what is the condition for this command to be executable. So if a button now is bound to this command, this means the enabled state of the button is bound against this delegate. This not delegate, that's wrong, against this action as it is, and it returns true or false. So it's enabled or not. So if we take a look here to check if FODI is automatically raising this property changed for everything, you can see it in work happening. Let's see. If we go to add here at the top, and then we type in some text. Can I? Yeah, I can. And then some, I don't know why it's so slow currently. Maybe I should give him some time. So as soon as I type at least one letter, this is working, but this is bound directly. If we take a look at the view model, we have the properties here, the item property, which is exposed. And the view itself, it's just simply bound against, this entry is bound against the item.text, and this is bound against item.description, explicitly in two ways, so that it works in both directions, and then I just bound the save command to the save button to the save command, and as you can see, nothing else, and it's just working, just like that. It's switching the state when I just enter text and description. I like it. So FODI is kind of cool and helps us a lot. Cancel this, makes things pretty easy. Some folks say, you know what, Alex, this is too easy even. So it's kind of trying to get magical, but this is all about binding in MVVM. You have to know how it works. And this is old stuff, you know, just Xamarin Forms uses this. And you have to keep in mind that binding is more than just telling him, hey, where comes the content from? It takes care about all the update lifecycle and stuff like that. This gets pretty complicated if you go in detail there. So with this, so I started with the base model. Now we know we have the base view model, which is having public virtual void on appearing, which is interesting. It has currently a data store, which was there before. I don't know. I don't like this approach. We will go over it today. It has is busy in the title property. And by the way, this is busy is kind of peculiar because I think it should be, the setter should be protected. So it should be protected because nobody from outside should be able to set the is busy. Makes no sense. This is cleaner. And also I think only the view model should have the option to change its title. Yeah, that's better. So it again implements property changed and has this method which Fody will take care of. Okay, cool. And then we have a base content page which kind of takes over the job view of binding the view model with the view. So if this is the base class for all our views, then kind of things happen automatically, because this gets called by Xamarin Forms when the content page, which derives from this one, is opening, gets visible in the UI in the app, and then we just call. Man, I'm tired. I don't know why. I'm just tired. Sorry. It's just calling on appearing in the base class, and then it checks if the binding context is going against the base view model, which is pretty important because our base view model has on appearing. We just call this on appearing. I like this approach. Now let's go further, because I don't like this data store thingy. So we have here from the original one. Oh, let me just some minor improvement on base classes. So let me commit and push, and then you guys can see, if you're live, you can see my changes directly. So this iData store is kind of the interface the makers of this template thought of being the CRUD interface of all the things which could be used inside of this. So they basically have a mock data store which is implementing it, and they call it iData store of item. That's cool. So now they have something which they can unit test. So this is kind of cool. If you don't have a real data source, you just take this one, and then you can make tests against them, against this thing. And the other thing is, currently we use this, so our app is kind of independent from external data. Okay, but this iData store, I basically don't want this to be in place currently. What I need is, I need something more or deeper. Let me see, because currently I am using dependency service, which is a built-in component from Xamarin Forms, like the DI container. And this dependency service is used to be the central delivery point for stuff I define. So if something needs an items view model, this thing knows how to generate the items view model. Okay, so we use this currently in a new class we did last time, the view model locator. So here it is. So if any component needs an items view model, it's just calling the dependency service and getting it because it's registered, or we throw an exception because we say we don't have it. So this is kind of clumsy currently. So I want to make this even better. The other thing is that I think that this is not ready. To be honest, I don't know. What happens if we make a check? So let's say we append something. Let's just play around. Let's say we have some interfaces, which is, I think it's better to do it this way. So services is kind of not that. So let's move this to another namespace so that it's more, it's okay. We just stick with this iData store for the moment so that the app does not break. And then we have a service which is called store. I don't like it. But anyway, I get distracted already. So I have this iData store. What now if one of my view models, like the new view model, needs this store, but it needs it in the constructor? So instead of putting it in the base view model here, see this, it's the iData store and it's just getting the iData store of item. No, because this means that every view model has an instance of the data store, no matter if it needs the data store or not. I don't want this. Okay, let's imagine I don't want this. Instead, what I want is, now it's not happening here. This is not working, and I think the items view model is not working, should not work. Selected item, on item added, where are the items? This is the items collection, and I think it should come from the data store. Oh, load items command, there it is. Oh, here it is. Here there should be, yeah, and it again needs a data store. But we don't want this way. So instead of doing that, let us say uguy private iData store of item. What was it called? Data store. Okay, get. So this is a typical thing. And now we say, how is it implemented even? It's done by dependency injection. So now what happened? I'm pretty, I'm getting excited here. And now just say data store is the data store which is passed in. In order for this to work, we should go to the app XAML and tell him if you need dependency service register T and T. This one is nice. If you need an iData store of item, if anyone needs this and item is inside the namespace, please take the mock data store. This is nice. Okay. Because now we are saying dependency service, if anyone needs this, give him that. Okay, so now this is the caller who says, I need this, the iData store, give it to me. And now I'm pretty curious if this gets populated. Everything else works because it's again a data store. I just have to do the same thing in the new item data store. Here we need a thingy, the same dependency injection. And we need this one. Let's go, and we need this line. We need to copy it over. And I think we even need it in item detail. Yes, item detail needs exactly the same. So let me copy over some stuff to item detail. We have to correct some stuff. This is not the one. Import this. Okay, clean up this. Resharper. My resharper shortcut is happening. Cleaning up this and cleaning up, hey, cleaning up this. So now I'm pretty excited. Excited is the right word. I'm curious. Because if this is happening, if we land here in the items view model, then dependency service does its job. If not, then let's see. Let's see. It should build. Okay. Please. What is happening? Exception. View detail. So what's going on? Application exception. Can we have some detail here? Exception has been thrown. Target invocation exception. Is it? Can I have, like, where is? I'm not even sure. Debug. Windows, is it? Because I have Enterprise Edition. which is not working, obviously. The diagnostic tools window does not the current debugging configuration. You see, it's not supporting it because it's iOS or what? Okay, so anyways, I think, do we have any detail here? I'm pretty about, what? Warning, once only. What? The table view on one of its components. Oh, that's another thing. Target invocation exception. In other words, it's not working. Is that correct? Does anybody know if dependency service here in static class that provides dependency service get factory method for retrieving platform specific implementation? What I don't want is to write this by my own. I could do the following without any problem. I leave this, I don't use it, and I just say data store here is dependency service get I data store of item. So if I do this only in this view, it should work again. But this is not dependency injection, to be honest, or inversion of control, or however you call it, because you do it explicitly and you have to do it all the time. You don't want to have to bother with this. And my first achievement for today is, can we bring in a real IOC container into play, like simple IOC, because it's simple, to circumvent this? So, is it working? Yes, it's calling the constructor, and now here we are. We have a data store. Okay, this is working, and obviously it's not working on the other side. I don't want this solution. I don't want it. I want this thing, okay? No matter how deep my fingers, because what now if the mock data store itself needs a dependency to be injected? I want this thing to take care about this. So in other words, let's change this. Let's see if we can have something like simple IOC in place. To be honest, simple IOC, simple dependency container. Cool, latest version 1.0. What is happening? 2020. Well, that is kind of pretty old, but it says nothing. Because maybe it's just finished, but it ended on .NET Core 2.2, but that's not much to do. Let's try it out. Why not? We can check this later. There are tons of IOC, but I cannot. It's too old. Supports .NET Core 2.2 is too old. Okay, I get it. What else can we do? I don't remember. I used a lot of them. Let us see. .NET 6 IOC container. What is a good one? New dependency. Yeah, .NET 6. I'm not .NET 6. I'm Xamarin Forms. .NET Core dependency container. What is a good one? Okay. NuGet. Can I tell from the name? Autofag? Yeah, Autofag. There was something. Autofag. IOC container. Can I have this? Because, yeah, it's maintained. So Autofag is there. And I have to take a look. Where was it? Do they have the project site here? I just need a little ramp up from them. How to do it? Autofag. So let's see. They have autofag.org. Thank you guys. So this is it. Register, which is, we have this container builder. I start to remember how it's working. And I think I have to do it here in the apps MLCS. So let's go and make it happening. It's Autofag, thank you. Container builder, and then we have several options to do this. I think we could even do this from the app settings side. We have a flexible system, yeah, but I only need builder dot register, and then we simply can say t from t2 register, and I think it's data store of item over to mock data store. Come on, mock data store, and that's it. Is it? No, that's not. Register 1, 2. No, that's not enough. He's register type. Register. Where's the one-to-one registration? Where is it? Register type as. Is it register type? And then command chaining. Could be. As this guy. So let's get rid of dependency service and let's try it out for this and the items view model, only the two of them. So let's say items view model, and then there is a as itself, as self. As self specifies that a type provides its own concrete type as a service. Could be. So let me throw away this and let's stick with dependency service for those just for a moment. I think I don't need this one anymore. So now I have this, and then I have to seal this by saying container var container is now, kind of finishing this up, and you need to have access on certain locations like the, how is it called, the view model locator. This needs access to this container. Now this is the central station to get everything. So in order to make this happen, let me add a helper class here. This is kind of my way of doing this. Add folder helpers. And this is simply add class. This is, let's say, variables, shared resources, good name, shared resources, internal, no, public, static. It will be static, and it will be an, what is this, iContainer. It has a property of type iContainer, and this is our dependency container, so that we know what container is meant. Public icon static. Yeah, I get it. So that's it. And now let's go and say resource, shared resources, dot, this is this. So now we can access it by using this variable. Okay, got it. And now in order to make this happen, I have to give this dependency injection thing, this container, to test this. I have to use it in my view model locator when I'm trying to get the items view model. So that instead of using this, I'm using this now, my new DI container, dot get, is it get resolve? Yeah, resolve. And now I say items view model. Kind of the same, but new syntax, you see. But this is first step, which means if this guy is responsible, this container now is responsible for resolving me this items view model, he also should be able to see that the items view model needs an iData store of item, and it should handle all this automatically. So that my expectation would be that in my items view model, now I get the constructor, I don't get the exception, and this thing is populated. I think it's okay. Let's see if I'm right or wrong, and then I tell you more about this. We totally should do this. Please, please. What? Did I think I messed up the types in the shared resources. This is an I container. Cool. And this is an I container, and this is an I container. Oh, he's saying that inside of it, at the moment we build it, he gets... Oh, that's interesting. Wait a second. Something is not matching. So as is not correct, I think. Let's see. Is it... I think it's the other way. In AutoFac. He says, coding tree, Xamarin sample logic UI, iData store of item is not assignable to this one. So I think it's just the other way around. So it is mock data store as an iData store of item. Is that correct? Is that what you want? Let me see the documentation. Register as, yes, the implementation, and followed in as what is it? So what is the generalized version of the thing? Cool. So that should do the job. Now, no accessible were found in type. So another thing, iData store UI, logic UI interfaces, iData store is no accessible constructors were found. What is going on? So let me see the documentation again. Register instance. Register type. Is this what I have to do? Register type. I did this. Register type. And here's register instance. Where is... Can I get quick start, please? Add auto application startup. I like it. So builder is new builder. Register type some type as the service. That is correct. As self and as iService. We can do this. I was right. If you want both services. So container is container build. So it's register type as what? So why? Why is this not happening? He says register the mock data store is an iData store of item. Cool. Whereas, I don't know, that was idiocy. This is not correct. Here it is. It is just an items view model. Okay, 9 p.m. Things happen, I would say. I don't know what you did today, but I totally was working, building .NET applications. Kind of didn't help, obviously. Where? Oh, it's getting, I love it. There it is. It's working. We have a mock data store and it is working. I like it. So watch what now happens. This was everything we needed. First iteration is we just register them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we take this guy, we take this guy, we take this guy, and this guy, and I did it wrong because I missed as self. Okay, cool. Now I can get rid of this. I don't use them anymore. So next thing is the view model locator must use always this. So let's be clever. This thing gets replaced by shared resources resolve. Let's see, in this file, obviously, current document. So this gets replaced by this. Is this working? Nice. Okay, this is not my final solution, okay? This is still something I will get rid of, but it should totally work. So the gain here is that we now use this real DI container, real, which means this thing is using reflection, looking into the types we register, the view models, and he's automatically seeing, well, this view model has a constructor. And this constructor, if I provide this view model, okay, you have to imagine, if I provide it, I have to construct it. I have to create a new instance. What is going on? I messed up something. Again, before explaining here, I was too sure that everything is okay. Obviously, it's not. Those exceptions, by the way, I think I have to wrap this. Let's see, what did I wrong? I have the view models, and the view models 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now let's see if oh, I forgot to build it. Did I? In dependencies. Let's see if it's working again. You probably are thinking, I saw it. I know. I know. I always see this when I watch videos from other guys. I always see the mistakes they make. And then I think, oh, well, that's ugly. And then I think, wait a second. You do the same stuff. Okay, working. Go there. Can I click you? Working. Oh, this takes a little bit longer, I think. Yeah, that's nice, because this detail view model still uses the dependency stuff from MVVM, and now he cannot get a grab on this data source. That's cool. So let us see. Was this correctly? Yeah, this is done. But this is not doing the correct thing. Okay, now we have to find all occurrences of, it's because now we need to ensure that every of our view models, which needs, so like the items detail view model now, should get this should work. And now data store, and now they are not sharing one data store. But instead, every one of them gets another data store. So what we could do now, simply because this is a real one, you can go here and say, if somebody needs a mock data store, this should be a singleton. Is this a singleton? No. How do you do singleton here? I'm explaining it later. Building from source, registering component, scope, controlling scope and lifetime. Is this what I need? No. Where is singleton? Is it here? Searching, scope and lifetime. Singleton lifetime. Nice. Where? Builder, register type, single instance. Okay. Dot single instance. So this should now solve our problem which we had, because this should take care in AutoFac that not only that he knows this is the implementation of this interface, but he's only providing one and one only instance of the mock data store. So you can simply test this by going to the constructor of mock data store, and you only should see happening this one time inside of your complete app. Whereas the source code before, right now, just a few seconds ago, would for every view model generate its own mock data store. Okay? So now we already should have, or again should have, a singleton data store, so that our application works. We should see it hitting this right now. There it is, the first constructor hit. And now when we click here, we see it's popular. We don't hit the constructor anymore of the mock data source. If I add one, A is 1, save, it's happening. Okay, now with this simple line, single instance, we controlled that there should be only one and only mock data store in the complete app. I don't know if this is a good idea, but that's how it is here. Okay, it's working. The complete chain is working. And now things are pretty nice already. So let me first commit something. Using AutoFac as DI is pretty what we did here. Commit all and push. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So now that we have this, let us go one step further, because every time we implement a new view model, we have to keep in mind to bring this view model into our dependency injections. So what if we would do this differently? So what if we should .NET do the job? You have to be careful. I will now use reflection here. And reflection is kind of, can be a very hard thing to do. You don't have to overdo reflection inside of your apps. But let us assume that we just say var view model types. Let us write some I wish me something code equals reflection helper. We will get view model types. So, and then for each var view model type in, we would call in this thing. Register type view model type. And now this is our new code. Okay, this is what we want to have. We want something automatically go through all view model types and register them, so that we can't forget to register a new view model. And we will surely check this out. Okay, let's go. We need a reflection helper now. Okay, let's go and create one. Add class reflection helper. Do it. So it is public static, because this way we always use the same helper. So, and now let's think about what we do. So we need a property, obviously, which is called get view. Why is it a property? Is it good that it is a property? Let us make a property out of it. Cool, it is public static IEnumerable of type view model types. Okay, cool. Get. Is it? No. We can simply make use of, let me see, private lazy. If you didn't know, now you know, like Biggie Small said, of type. This is view model type factory. Let's call it this way, equals new lazy moves to this. I'll explain this, and this is view model private static. Is it static possible? I don't even know. View model type value. Yes. Okay, cool. So what is a lazy? The purpose of a lazy is to return or to define inside of this lambda, to define the method which is called to retrieve this result. And the lazy takes care that if you hit dot value of the lazy, that lazy loading is working. So lazy loading means that this lambda here is executed once, but only once, and only on the first hit. So if you never use this lazy, because nobody's interested in the view model types, it will never get executed. But if you use it more and more, if you use it more than one time, this thing gets only executed once. So we can do it simple right now. Let's do a new array of type. I think I can omit this, but let's say type of items view model, and then followed by, you know what I mean, type of what do you have, item detail view model, and so on. So this will be our lazy, and now it's not working correctly. Obviously we can leave this out. So but now this thing works, and because this thing works, our app XAML CS works and says, yeah, I get it. So I get a list of types here, or an enumerable of types, and for each of the type I will call register type, so that we don't have to do this. Cool. So what we need to do now, we need to do this in a correct way. So first of all, what we need is we need the assembly. Var assembly equals assembly, which is in system reflection. You got it. Get is this calling? Is this entry? Good point. I always mess this up. Gets the assembly that contains the code that is currently executing. I think it's the correct one because we are in the reflection helper. Okay, let's do it this way. First, step by step. Yeah, the next thing already suggested by the new Studio 2022 machine learning, AI, whatever, code suggestion is saying probably the next thing you will do is get the types of this assembly. Okay, I get it. So, but what I only want is special types. So first of all, the type should not be abstract. I'm not interested in abstract types. I only want concrete types. And another condition is that I think type of base view model is assignable from the type. So this should generate, and let's do it this way, and let's see what is happening here. So this should generate all the types which are not abstract, which are concrete classes, and which are derived from base view model, which is my view models. Okay, let's see if this is working as expected. He should hit it because our app XAML CS wants him to go to this. Oh, you can't see with my finger if I point. No, you can't. So he will go to this one, this one, yes, this one, which is view model types, and then he should execute the dot value, which brings him to this code. Oh, I like it. But I should, obviously I forgot to bring in my super cool, here you go, he's hitting it. So what do we get? We have an enumerator, and it's it's 6 types, which is what is in there. Is it the expected one? This is item detail view model. This is, come on. This is items view model. Is it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, where is the 6th one? That's interesting. Let me see. What is it? This is base view model. Why is base view isn't base view model abstract? Is that the Oh, you see? Because I'm an idiot. Oh, that is bad coding. This should never be an instance. This is an abstract class, okay? Nobody wants just a new base view model. Makes no sense. Okay, that should be 5 now, and that should work without any problem. Let's see. Keep in mind that we have all those lines are commented out, so we are now using the reflection helper here on top, and we can optimize this code. And we are now using the reflection helper to get all the view model types so that we don't have to put them in like idiots, and just say, you need this, you need... So that's what's going on. Oh. Or we are hitting an exception. So what is going on? Let us see what is called here. View model type, register type, view model type. So it should go through, register them, cool, and then build the container. I don't see any problem here. But the compiler does. But no, not the compiler, the runtime. Let's see. Here you go. View model type is item detail view model. Okay, go ahead. F11 works. Yeah. What? Oh, I did a horrible mistake, by the way, because that way it's just an enumerable and not this thing. I have to. Let us optimize this. Return this, and then that, and then it's just a one-liner. So, and the naming is wrong because I think it's static. Yeah, it should be this way. Thank you. And now let's do this all over again. Maybe that was already... Shouldn't, but maybe this was the problem. F11. F11. Okay, looks good. Can you jump to this point? No. To this point, please. And now the builder has... I think we can take a look at this raw view. Can we see? Anyway, let us see if this is working right now. No. Target invocation exception has been thrown. It's again and over again the same thing, which means somewhere deep inside of me is an exception. But what? Oh, I forgot this one. We didn't take care about this, the iData store, which is cruel. So let us, man. So we have to do, let's comment, register data store, and then register all view model types. So that means, let us do this one. And now it should work again. Again, a simple, stupid mistake from myself. You know, when your eyes are like this, it's a lot. In my experience, in my life, it happens a lot. Overcrossing my eyes, whatever this is. Sometimes I get in the tunnel and everything works just fine. See? And sometimes I make silly mistakes. Like someone said in the comments, sometimes I make silly things. I totally agree. So that is pretty cool, I think, the reflection helper so far. And why do I do all this, you know, artistic stuff here with lazy and stuff like that? Because I want to be very careful here in how often this gets executed. Reflection, which we do here, this is called reflection because we kind of use the types inside of our program and explore stuff while we are running. This is like holding a mirror and looking at yourself. This is why it's called reflection. And reflection is known to be not the most efficient stuff you can do in your program, but still, as you can see, it can be very, very useful. So you always need to find a balance, in my opinion, between how often will I use reflection and how useful is it, how fast can I work when I use it. And this way, you don't have to think even about new view models. So let me give you an example with that in place. Let us simply create a new, now with that in place. So first of all, reflection for VM type registration. Okay, that is cool. It's working. I have to push here. So with this set, now we should be able to use this stuff. So let's go ahead and maybe let's try this with a new view model. So let's go and create a copy. This is pretty simple. And let's say I have, what do we have? We have a foo view model. Okay, this is a foo view model. It is a base view model. Okay, cool. It has no member var. It is a foo view model. No question about this. And then it has a message. But sometimes we will now say the following. We need also private, only for us, an I data store of item, which is our data store. It is a read-only property, which it is immutable because we don't even have a private setter, which means it could never be set even by ourselves by this class. You could never change it. There's only one place where you can assign a value to this, and this is in the constructor. So that is why ReSharper gives us the bubble. Let me do this again. If you have ReSharper, and I don't know if Visual Studio, I think Visual Studio can do it right now by its own. So you hit the bubble, and he already knows you need to initialize this from constructor. This is one way to do it, the explicit way here. So we have this, and now let's say what happens if we say we have, like, I don't know, data store dot get items async. Well, that's pretty dumb. He's not giving us a get items method, is he? What can I do with this? Dang. I just wanted to bring in everything. What can I do? Let's see. The data store has this. Can I add a... can I say... public? Oh, public, yeah. Int items count. And it should be a method, to be clear, because of the async stuff. Let us do this. And now let's go to the mock data store and implement this guy by simply clicking here and implement. And let's say this is return. Can I have a get items async? Get items async, please. Result. Oops, this is dangerously. Result count. This is pretty bad, but for the sake of, we are just using result, which is pretty dangerous, especially when you work on UI. Never do this just like that. By the way, don't do it. It's not the right way to unwrap the async in order to get the stuff and then to perform count of the on the enumerable. Don't do this. But anyway, for the moment, this should work. Cool. And now if we have get items async, we could say get item count, because it's not async. Int get item count, non-static. What? Get item count is int, and the mock data store has just a simple public int get item count. What do you mean not static? Message? It's doing this one. Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, I see. It is, the message is always the same, please. So, we have items in the store. So now this view model is a little bit more doing than the my view model, because it's taking in. Now we are wishing ourselves an iData store. It comes in using autofic. Autofic takes care about how we get an instance of data store, everything fine. And now when we have it, we just display out. So we have a full view model. So what we now can do is we go to our my page here, and we tell him, we go to our view model locator, and now we say, you know what, if somebody wants a full view model, so we have to do this here by hand still. You need a full view model, then there's a property called full view model, which will use autofac to give you a full view model. Cool. And now with that in place, we can simply switch and say our my page now uses another view model, which is the full view model from the locator. We don't change anything here. And now let's see if this just happens, because several things now need to work. First of all, we don't wire up our full view model in the startup. It's just happening because of reflection. Then it gets an iData store because autofac takes care about giving him an iData store, and then the message and then the view model locator just provides a full view model because we can have as many view models as we like. We don't have to use everything of it, every view model. Let's go here, and now it's working. We have 6 items. So, and now let's go over here, add another one, A and B, or whatever. Now it is 6 items. That is interesting, because this is happening because our full view model, now this thing cannot detect by itself that it's dependent on the data store. And yeah, and the problem is with this is another thing I wanted to mention. The problem here is that the data store does not provide an items property, which is okay because it is the service which provides us the data. Now, we should do the following. We should have on override. Yeah, we should do it differently here, because this is not a good way. Private int items count. And now we could get rid of this get items count. Man, I don't know. So why does this always happen in this order? Override on appearing, on every appearing, please take the data store to make this clean and say items count is data store items count. And now we should use the items count here. So this should ensure that in our current situation that we always get a fresh check on how many items there are whenever this view comes into place. Let's see if this is true. And by the way, I'm not even sure if this is so slow because of my, let me see. I think I have live preview on, which is not that sensible to me. It's a cool feature, but it kind of is not working correctly for me, at least in the way I need it. I just don't use it. I don't know. The only cool thing is, let me see. It's now 0 items. Cool. Why is it not called here? Oh. I'm not. I'm an idiot. That's what I am. I'm an idiot. So now the problem is that this thing is not a property. Oh man. Prop int, I think, items count. And now I private. And now I use this one. And now I say items count is items count. And I don't need this. Is it working now? And if yes, I will explain. Just a second. Tools, options. This is Xamarin Hot Reload. So I think it slows down the debugging a little bit. Hot Reload is this cool new feature where you can go into the UI and make changes, and you just hit this Hot Reload button, which is only visible in debug sessions. I don't use it especially now, because in this sample I'm basically completely doing C# stuff. So that's why I can't use it currently. And let's switch it off and see if the debugging gets a little bit quicker. I think I made this experience that it gets quicker. One of these days, the computer will be wrong. Yeah, Brenton. Yes. Yeah. I totally agree. Welcome, Brandon, by the way. Hi. Nice to have you here. Okay, cool. Let me see. What was I up to? Okay, my 6 items. Cool. And now add an item. A is 1, and now do save. And now we have, thank you, 7 items. Why is it working now? For everyone who's not understanding this, it's working now because I missed out a thing. When I don't have a property, which can be seen by autofag, no event is raised on the change of this property. And just like the version before, it was just a member variable, and I changed the content of the member variable. So this is not visible to not autofag FODI, excuse me. This is not visible to FODI property changed. That's why he is not raising this property changed event. And if he's not raising the property changed event for items count, this thing cannot know the other property that it should update itself. That's why there was nothing. No Prism experience foo. Okay. Yeah. You, Brandon, you are for 1 year on Xamarin. Let me read this. And no Prism experiences. Yeah, it's me too. I never touched Prism, to be honest. I covered this last time. If somebody of you does not know what Prism is, what Brandon is just bringing up, Prism is like an MVVM framework which also brings decent dependency injection, for instance, with it, and tons of other stuff, and it's maintained by Microsoft, and I had it in the last video. So now, if you have Prism, you would wouldn't have to do a lot of stuff I'm doing right now. But on the other hand, lots of MVVM cross. Okay, you do MVVM cross. Nice. Yeah, I like those lightweight MVVM thingies more. Price been using MVVM cross mostly. What do you mean by price been using? I don't get the sentence, to be honest. Price been using. Okay, so I like those small frameworks more, because you have more control. Usually you can understand them quicker, and yes, you have not so many options in these things, but mostly I want something very, very, crisp and typo. Okay, got it. You want something crisp and very easy to handle stuff. And MVVM Cross, I think, is also a pretty small one and pretty cool. In my time when I just before Xamarin Forms, I used MVVM Lite a lot, but it's not maintained anymore from Laurent Bugnon. And then I even did, I got sick of this, and then it's always easy to jump over. And just to show you, I had this thing on NuGet running, but it's not advertising this. I just want to show you that we had this Dr. Flox thing happening at my company, which is, this is named because we are Star Trek fans. And so every technical project in my company is called after a Star Trek character. And then a good friend of me made me a cool logo out of curly braces and normal braces. I like it. And it's kind of Dr. Phlox, you know. If you know Star Trek, you recognize him. But anyway, it is an MVVM for WPF. Okay, not for Xamarin. It's not optimized. It's .NET full framework and stuff like that. But I took this MVVM Lite and it was too clumsy for me because obviously it supported a lot of stuff I never needed, and I made it like smaller even, and I concentrated on a lot of stuff. And there is a project website pointing to GitHub, I think. Yeah, here you can see it on GitHub. It's old, okay? So you have to install it, and then I had some. Where's my wiki here? And this thing is kind of the getting started. And this is what always counts for me. It uses autofag, as you can see. That's why I stick to Mama all the time. And then how to vary everything up. It is a container again and blah, blah. It shows you how to use it with autofag. And then this was for WPF, okay? And this again is, you see, I love these approaches. And it's even more complicated to do a little bit stuff here. Again, variables, just keep the autofag container and then view model location provider, which I implemented and so you have several ways to bring in the view model locator here, and this was WPF. I don't want to mix up things. Yeah, but great to have you here, Brenton. I love to hear that MVVM cross is still a thing. Is it maintained still? Can I have a look at this? Is this going on? Or are you just using it? MVVM cross. One. Let's see. MVVM cross. Oh, it looks maintained. MVVM cross, definitely. This is even Microsoft. They don't they don't use it at Microsoft. So that's bad, because what is Prism then? Anyway, maybe there are projects where even Prism is too heavy. So let us see documentation support. Where is the GitHub here? Do they have GitHub? GitHub, is it open source? Feels like it's maintained by one person. Really? This one thing? Let's go. MVVM cross. Where is it? MVVM cross, MVVM cross. This is kind of nice. Whoa. Not bad, not bad. Contributors, where are you? Here, 321. Doesn't mean that much, because can be 320 people doing typos. Bottom of page? Bottom of page. Oh, you mean, I see. The GitHub link is bottom of page. Okay, cool. 711. Not bad, not bad. What is on there? 240. It's pretty active. I like it. Looks good. I definitely have to take a look at this. Thanks for the hint, Brenton. Nice. Have to take a look of it. At it. Let's start this with my DevTier account. Cool. And maybe watch for releases. Oh, later. I first have to watch. Thanks. Anyways. So back to our code, I think. Where was I? Okay. I just showed you that with this change, we simply add view models, and now we have this in place, and you totally can fresh MVVM. Yeah. I saw fresh MVVM. I saw this happening, and they even had something, I think, fresh VVM, where, thanks, Brandon, for pointing stuff out. It's live, so I can go wherever I want. Fresh MVVM. Those guys tested out, you see, it's already valid because I was there. And they even have here Rit, I think he is the guy behind it. And he did something for Maui. Sad thing about this is that it's kind of, it didn't went very further. So I tried out this for Maui because some stuff is pretty different here in Maui. But because Maui itself is under development, it's reasonable that this thing is not stable right now. But it has cool stuff here. You definitely have to take a look at this here at Fresh MVVM from Ritz. I think he is from, he's a contributor behind Fresh he's only, what the heck is going on? I don't need you, I need you. Red's Fresh MVVM and not the Maui version. Where is Fresh MVVM? This is Maui. Oh, this is the fork, I think. Is it Ritz? Yeah, for Xamarin Forms it is stable. Yes. But I wanted to point out that they even have it for Maui already. They even have some samples. It is stable for Maui, for Xamarin Forms. You can definitely use it. It's nice. I like it too. They have some specialties there. I think, for instance, they have this await command, which I like. The Maui is not stable yet. Yeah. They have this await command class, which is pretty nice because it solves very unnerving bug on commands under Android, I think. And they took care about a lot of stuff. I like it. Okay, so we now have proven that this works. So this is a nice approach. So now if I'm going to add stuff, views model and so on, I can fully concentrate on the .NET side here, on the C# side. I don't have to take care on how is it implemented and stuff like that. And even for the data stores, we will find solutions for this later, not today. So maybe I make a third part, depending on how the view counts are, or if, sorry. Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. It's okay, Ren. Happens. So, what I want now, let me just maybe undo all this. It was just a demo. Do we? What is here? What is this change? What's going on? Oh, yeah. I just needed this for, let me undo all of this. And then I definitely have to, oh man. Okay, I got it. You want, I will never know coding freaks. It is Xamarin Forms sample. Can I have this? And I agree, yeah, you have to delete this file because you can't do it. Okay. A hard reset in Visual Studio Git still is not happening most of the times. Anyway, who needs it? So what I want to do today is I want to prepare ourselves to get even a little bit more concentrated on the UI logic. So a simple approach to this, just to give maybe people who are not used to do refactoring a lot. Just a simple thing, which is kind of obvious, is just add a new project to your solution. It is, what is it, by the way? It is a class library. Oh, wait a second. What is this? This is .NET Standard. Okay, I got it. Add a new project and then a class library. And then go to your folder. Don't forget to keep your folder structure always a good idea, at least in my thing. And now let's call this logic MVVM, okay? You'll see where this is headed. No, .NET Standard, thank you, sir. And then go ahead and we can remove this totally. And now let's just use this one. Here, is it? Yeah. We should do this. Let's go here and let's call it Xamarin Forms sample. You know, because I did this thing last time, we don't need to enter anything else. Now we need something because we need a property change. We will need this in any way. Xamarin Forms, I'm not even sure if we need this. Let's see. So it is, I think, item group. And now add this guy. So we have the dependency over here. Yes, thanks. And now what we could do, we simply can add a reference from this project to the other one, like logic MVVM. And I think we will need one here too, but I'm not sure. if we need one. So, and now we can think about a lot of types. So let's say the base types. The base types have nothing special in terms of business logic, because it's just C# stuff to ease up our life. So why is it then part of this logic UI? Does not need to be part of this UI. So let's move this one layer up and let's fix some namespaces here. You see, I need Xamarin Forms right away. That's it. So let's go. I think Xamarin Forms could do it in the first place. Like you can see, if you just copy over this package reference, it's the same as saying install NuGet package. It's just because of the C project format. If you install NuGet package, it's just entering this line in the file. Then view models is a thing. I don't know why. The base content page. Oh, because of the base view model? I don't think so. That means that this is here. This is, so that makes sense. Let's go over it. This one is just complaining the namespace. Now it goes over to interfaces. You see, now you have the base view model, which needs a lot of interfaces. So this is interesting. I notify property changed, this one and that one. Why does it need the interfaces anyway? And does it need the models? No, it's not. And the service is not. It just was left over here. Cool. And now let's go here and change the namespace to this one, which is far more better. And now let's do this in the idiot way, you know, like me, doing something manual. So now we have extracted those from our logic UI, and now all we have to do now is to say, you know, not base types but MVVM base types. So if you see using base types in the, is it that if you see this in the current project, please use MVVM dot base types. How many? Okay, just don't tell me how many. Why should you? The only time I really wanted this information, he's not giving it for me. Yeah, of course. UI base types. This is not the one. Where else? Okay, rebuild you. Base types. Oh no, it's just because he's rebuilding. New item on appearing based on appearing. Oh, something's going on here. It's the new item page. This is base content page. Override. Better. Let's see. Rebuild everything. It's unnecessary because he's not implementing on appearing. But this way it gets clearer. I don't know. Am I missing an assembly reference? What do you think? I don't think so. But this is normal stuff happening. Let us see. Logic UI could not be found. Yeah. So let us see. Rebuild this. Working. Clean this. Let's do a little trick here. Initialize component. Now rebuild it. Okay. Where is the item detail page? GCS files are generated CS files. And if you have errors in this area, usually it means restart your Visual Studio, to be honest. And remove all those folders. Let us do this. I think it was kind of too much for him. Try Rider instead of Visual. Yeah. Ren, sorry for going in that late into this question. Yeah, my colleagues are using Rider and I tried it out. Especially on the Mac, because on the Mac it makes no sense to open up, in my opinion, Visual Studio for Mac. I don't know what that is, but it's definitely not a reasonable alternative to Visual Studio. So yes, I tried Rider there, especially as a ReSharper customer. I have a license for Rider too, which makes it pretty cool. It's nice, it's quick and stuff like that, but to be honest, I'm doing like Visual Studio for, I don't know, 20 years now. And I don't want to say that I'm very, very good at Visual Studio, but I know my corners there, you know what I mean? And I don't know, in Rider it feels like, oh, man, I have to search stuff. And usually I don't even know if it's findable because I don't know if they implemented it yet. So to make it short, Rider is cool. Rider is pretty cool, especially the speed. You have to say the speed is, oh, wow, I love it. So Visual Studio, I don't know what's going on. Okay, Microsoft obviously is not able to create an extension infrastructure here in Visual Studio, which enables us, even now that this is 64-bit, this 2022 Visual Studio is the first time it's 64-bit in lots of years. And now I still have huge problems in opening this with ReSharper. And I don't know, I'm getting sadder and sadder every year because I wait. Okay, now I have what? What have I currently? I do this for 20 years and I started with what? I don't know. For what was the platform 20 years? Intel Pentium, I think. I started on this crap. And now, see, what is going on? I have, it's not the best rack you can think of, but, you know, it's 32 gigs of RAM, and not the baddest RAM. It's a Core i7, and it's not the best Core i7 or latest, I know, but can I please expect this machine with 32 gigs of RAM and SSD and stuff like that to just execute a Visual Studio in 2022 like quick? I am just expecting this. I don't know why I'm doing this, if I do this wrong, but I just expect this, okay? So now I'm a little bit confused here. Wait a second, I get distracted here pretty soon. So let me see if what is the reason for this failing. Let me see. This is using that. Is it because this has not a reference to the project? Can it be? Let's see, if I use this one, is it starting to get better? I don't even know. Let me see. No, rebuild all failed. Are you missing an exam? I don't know, it's a GCS file. What do you want? It is metadata file not found. Did you add the reference to your project? Oh. Yeah, I did. Like here. It is here, logic MVVM. It should work. I just moved them. What is going on? Let me do this in detail. Okay, what we have? We have .NET Standard. It's not different from this guy. It has the package references. And this guy has the package references in the item group where it belongs. It is the reference. It is, I don't need that one. I don't know why exactly this page is in the embedded resources. Maybe I said this explicitly. Never mind. The thing is, I just want to know, did I clean? Nuke the bin, yeah. This is what I try to do next. Let me first try it without doing the bin. Oh, it's coming just like that. Let me close this and follow the hint, repos, coding freaks. Where is it? Here. And now let's find with everything, every bin. I like this tool. And every object folder. Object folders are pretty unnerving. Go away. Anyway, now reopen this and see if we got lucky. 1.5 hours. I just planned to make it like 1 hour today, so maybe Don't overdo it. But it's kind of fun, especially when you get kind of a back and forth with you guys, check things out. And maybe the only message is, yes, the same thing happens to me like it happens to you. This is a message here in this video. Let's take with this. If you wonder if I do nothing, it's just because I already know that my Visual Studio is kind of laggy. I'm clicking. Okay, just so that you don't think what's wrong with him. Well, I think you think this sometimes, but not in this case. Okay, let's give it some time to breathe, sir. 700 megabytes. It's eating my memory. Pray. Nope. Okay, let us see what the heck is going on. Is it, okay, last chance. I add a reference to the Android project to be completely clean. It's not necessary, I know. Let me just, for the sake of, and now again, we are spending our time on some weird bug. No, okay, let me first rebuild this, and then maybe let's go, where am I? I'm in the logic. I'm interested in logic, and let's go to logic MVVM and say .NET build, and this should work. Okay? .NET Core preview. Now let's go to logic, and let's go to UI, I think. And let's do .NET build. And what's going on? Aha, you see. He's saying, whoa. Views typo namespace base types in views new item page. Yeah, it's no, I think we have names. Oh, it's a GCS, you see again. He's not getting things straight. So what usually happens here when I see stuff like that is, let me remove this reference and let me add it again. Let me try this. Projects, logic MVVM, I re-added it, rebuild. Something, this is helping. No, it's not. .NET build. Okay. What is going on? rm-r. Let's do this, and the object here. Use .NET build. No. So now he's pointing out that this is interesting, by the way. Let's see what's going on. .NET Standard views login page. So login page is one of them. And oh, is it a namespace thingy? Here? Oh. Of course. Of course I forgot to tell him that base types now is found in another assembly. Thank you. Logic MVVM, and this is logic MVVM, and now this one, yeah, it does strike again. You're totally right. This is, where is base types? Oh, here. Xano does not want to play with me, but I override it, and I'm trying to sing in my live stream. No. Where is my base types? Here. And just like that, close all. I just wanted to move 4 classes, or 3. That was started all this. No, what else? Xamarin Forms couldn't be found in Logic UI. Let me see, because this kind of helped me in seeing what was going on. .NET build. What else is... Okay. So, rebuild. This works. But I still have now, I think this is... Logic MVVM is not needed here. And not needed if I remove the reference, it should go. Yeah, cool. So now rebuild the whole thing. Tempted to use the markup for C# extension. Yeah. Yeah. You get this pretty quick. Yeah, I know. Okay, it takes something longer. Yeah. And it's not working. I know that. Yeah. I don't know. I got some critics in mixing up, discussion. Let's call it discussion, and mixing up like WPF stuff with the new one. I think they have so many old stuff just coupled to the XAML that I will answer just one thing today. Let's see if this is true. Let's first see. Hello, MVVM. I don't know. Yeah. I got rid of this. Edit. Let's see if everything is hooked up correctly. Still save, and yes. I don't know why this is taking so long, but anyway. And now let's moved base types to other project. Yes, so this is a starting point of cleaning up everything. So just to finish up, and then we maybe can talk about this, to finish up this task. Now currently what we got is the logic gets thinner and thinner and concentrates only on the logic. For instance, reflection helper. Shared resources not, but the reflection helper is something which can totally go there too. This should not hurt. Let us see if I'm true. So let us move this now to this project. Help us. Let us be consistent. Move it here. Okay. And then change the namespace of it. And then let's see, I think this guy now changed the namespace. Let us do resharper do its job. Thank you, resharper. Thank you, resharper. Okay, cool. And now what I'm doing here is I'm going to extract more and more stuff out of my Logic UI in order to concentrate here inside of my Logic UI, to concentrate only on stuff which is for this UI, because this Logic UI is only targeting those two projects, okay? Not every UI I ever make. So this is kind of, if you will, projects like this, like the Logic MVVM, kind of are the nucleus of the NuGet packages you use. Like Brandon told he's using, or he's liking Fresh MVVM or MVVM Cross, and basically people who write those NuGet packages, they start by implementing their own wrappers, and then they have all of a sudden they have 10 classes which are pretty important to them. And if you catch yourself in copying over this Logic MVVM to another project, then there's a point in time where you reuse your code, and you definitely should go over and create a NuGet package for yourself. Doesn't matter if you use it, just you use it, or you put it on NuGet.org. It does not matter, in my opinion. So now we have reflection helper here. That's it. The last thing now, moved reflection helper to logic. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you get there, Brenton. Kind of, it's just logical at some point to do this, and then all of a sudden you say, well, I just did the same thing in this project like in that. Okay, obviously this is a package and not a project anymore. I know, and then things get hard because the customer is not paying you for making a package out of it, but that's another thing. Move reflection helper to MVVM project, proj. Okay, let's do it. And then there was a hint in the commands. Let us finish with that. Who stated out that he thinks that I don't need the is data source thingy on my view model locator instance. I don't know. App name droid, yeah, I see. Yeah, cool. It's kind of adding at the same. You don't need to do this thing. I just used to do Logic UI, and beside it, yeah, you have app name core. Yeah, totally fine, cool. Yeah, let's see if I can remove this D data source thing. I don't know. So that would be an AppXAML because the data source is inside of this. And one commenter from my last, the other video said he thinks I don't need this one. This old blend namespace with all of this stuff. I don't need it. I simply can say this is your view model locator and this is a resource. And you don't need D as data source. So let's see if this is true. Let's see if it works. I don't know. Because this is some knowledge I took over from XAML in WPF, because there you had to define this D as data source in order to tell the front end then that this is not just a resource like a color, like below of it, but it's a resource which can act as a data source. And no, you can't. Is it because of this change? I am curious. Is it? It would be interesting because this would, okay. Where am I? Logic. And again, we are here in reset hardware. So let me execute this. Have you seen the Xamarin Essentials interface? NuGet, no. Makes XE dependency injection painless. Oh, it does? Interesting. Have you seen Xamarin Essentials interface NuGet? Xamarin, so NuGet.org, if I get you right. And then is it part of Xamarin Essentials? Or is there, let me search. NuGet.org, NuGet must-haves. Cool. I make a website and wrapping another website. Basically the top 10, but no, that's another rabbit hole. So Xamarin Essentials interfaces. Here you go. See, this is the one I think you mean. Xamarin Essentials interfaces, and they got, they have the project website here. This is Essential Interfaces. Cool. Why would you want this? Good question. Xamarin Essential Library is a great initiative by the Xamarin team to provide a simple, consortium-endorsed, and low-overhead set of cross-platform APIs. That's the one. Okay, APIs for mobile application as a core design decision. For several reasons, and all the features for how does it work? Here you go. Here you go. And does it have lifetime control? Get placement marks. Oh, it's better than the other one. That's the one. Okay. So is there something like a documentation from NuGet here? I don't know. How to use the interface, install the NuGet package, use the following Xamarin Essential API thing, interface iThing, implementation, thing implementation. Let me... I see. Yeah. Thing is an iThing, and then you have the implementation. Okay. Knowing this, you can register each implementation you need with its matching interface. For example, I is this. Okay, this is, again, another way around. But what I can't see here, to be honest, I don't know if they have lifetime. Like Singleton and stuff like that. Do they have it? Do you know it, Brandon? You can write it down if you know it. Okay, anyway, I'll wait till Brandon answers. Where was I? Again, I am distracted. Okay, I wanted to check if this was, no, it's not. Something else went wrong here. I didn't, it's a classical. You did not test and check in. Yeah, I did. If they have it, it's all auto-generated. If it's in Xamarin Essentials, they have it. It's all, what do you mean? I just mean controlling the lifetime like this one. Let me show you. I don't get the answer. I mean, you see it here where we say builder mock as single instance. Do you know if they have something like this in the Xamarin Essential interfaces? So now, by the way, we have a problem. The problem is that I don't know what is going on. I just broke it. So we have to fix this, definitely. Now, let me think about this. I removed the reference. Can it be that this was not cool? We still have to bring this to life. I don't know if I need a reference here. Does anybody know if I need a reference, an explicit in the calling app? It's not for building purposes, that's for sure, but something is going on here. Something is breaking and I need to debug this. Is it working now? No, it has nothing to do with this. And I still get a very, very poor debugging experience because I don't see the actual exception and all the stuff. Okay, let me get rid of this again because I don't need it. Let me go step by step. Because anyways, this is something we have to cover. So again, I did something weird. Now let's see. This should get from the reflection app, which now is in Logic MV. Oh, I see. I know what's happening. This is now Logic. This is happening because now I see. You use this with your DI. I see. Cool. I have to take a look at it. Thanks, Brenton, to point this out. I thought this is the DI itself. I see. Yeah. But wait a second. My studio crashed. Yeah, we did have. So I know what happened. Let me show you maybe. Let's do it in the console like the cool kids. Now let's go to Logic MVVM, and let's go to base types, and let's go to VS Code here because my studio decided to crash. So the problem is currently, no, it's in the helpers. Anyway, yeah, I know. Now I can show you here. So this guy is now going out of the curve because the lazy here, this is wrong because get execution assembly, as we know, is looking inside of this assembly for the types. I think we need now get calling assembly. And this is kind of dangerous, okay? This is not helping at all. But get calling assembly. So this could be depends on. This always is a pain. So usually I use something else, which is the what is it? It's called the. No, it's still not working because we can track it down right now. I think it is. No, that's why we use this guy. Var assembly equals. So let's do this. This is get calling assembly of the method that invoked the current executing method. Okay, let's think about this. This is, I think, him. That's not bringing us anywhere. The entry assembly, which is this one, is also not what we need. We need the following. We need, is it app context? No, it is, oh man. We need to find all types in the current scope. This is, how do I do it in other projects? Let me peek. Let me peek so that this is not going to be 4 hours. Not that I especially don't like 4-hour talks. Would be a good thing, but I think that's not the point. Reflection helper. How did we do this? Just a simple hint. Yeah, app domain, current domain, app domain. This is what I get assemblies. This is assembly now for each assembly. for each var assembly in this. And again, this is pretty return get types where, and now we need something else. We need this one. Now we need to return, oh, let me see, return this, select many, I think a moves to, and then a get types. Is it correct if I assume that this should be the correct query? Let me see. This is kind of magical, and it's not the best approach. We will see later why. The more abstract you get, the worse it gets here, because this is kind of, from the performance viewpoint, this is kind of, bleh, it sucks. If it's working, let's do it. If it's working, let's do it. No, it's not. Oh, it is. We have, how many? How many do we have? Tell me. Tell me. Yes, we again have them. Just, it's like quantum. Visual Studio, by the way, I have a new cool finding. Visual Studio acts like a quantum mechanics system, kind of. If you touch it while it runs, it behaves differently. You see? It's quantum mechanics, I tell you. It's just maybe that's the reason why it's not working. Maybe it's, you know, ahead of its own time. It's like in 10 years or so, it will work on quantum computers. It will perform pretty well, I think. Now I got the point. It's a quantum mechanical stuff. Who would have known? So anyway, that was just a theory, of course. Okay, don't quote me. But now we have to do something else. We have to be very careful here. Let me go. Static read-only lazy of IEnumerable of assembly, which is the assembly collection factory, I guess. It is a new lazy. Again, same pattern. Yeah, I have a plus sign in it because I can type. Oh, I do this while going. So this is what I do right now. I can optimize this to a lambda and then I use it. Okay, and then I have to use the value and from that. So this is how I prepare myself to say, hey, if the next method comes around, which needs all assemblies, first of all, then I have here the logic to get this only once because it's a lazy. So this query would not be executed all over again, which would be bad because he's collecting all this stuff and it takes some time. So this is the first thing. The second thing, if I can rely on every method taking this lazy, then later on I can optimize this because I think it needs optimization. Don't take it this one. Don't make this in real projects, please, guy. Because this is your first entry of, you know, performance leaks and stuff like that. I've seen this so many times. People are overusing this and happily go to the app domain. Don't do it just like that. Okay, now reflection effort works. But anyway, now I can, oh no, not again. Let me first of all try it out, okay? So that I'm not committing something which is not working again. And then let's test it out with the data source. And I think then data source will work without, I think. Do you want to bet on this? Is it working without D is data source or not? Who has an opinion? Bet on it, guys. Anyone? Oh, first of all, it's working, I think. Do I have any mistakes here? Like it. I think it's enough test. That was a pretty decent test. So this is fixed assembly collection issues. And you totally can see all of this inside of my repository and have fun together with your friends if you watch me doing retarded stuff here. Okay, so now, finally, let's go here and remove all this comp D and whatever, and remove this. And now the question is, will this still run as expected? Like one of the commenters told me. If yes, I would be pretty glad and sad at the same moment, because I was not right and did something in vain, which I thought I have to do. Seems like I wasn't right, and I will be sad. It's already running, isn't it? Go there. Go, it's working. Just like that. Okay, last thing to check. Is IntelliSense still working? Because blend is always something about development time, okay? That's it usually has nothing to do. If you don't know what blend is, by the way, is it still shipping? Yeah. It is a kind of the visual design tool for what? For XAML. It's a cool idea. I don't know if anybody still uses blend. Does anybody still use blend? I thought it was a good approach, and back then in the time, I just grabbed my UI designer and I told him, this is the future. Like 10 years ago, what was it, 12, 15? This is the future. You totally should use this tool because, let me open this. Blend for Visual Studio 2022. It's still there. It's a thing. Blend is here. And you can tell by the complete look of this thing, look and feel, that this at the time was kind of a mimic of the Adobe platform with everything. It was the first thing who had flat logo. It had this splasher which was different, and it had dark mode by default before dark mode was even a thing in Visual Studio, by the way, officially dark mode. So what I thought, and a lot of people were thinking that, well, this is something not a developer should use, but the designer. And I think that was the intent of this tool. Let me open the same thing while I have it opened in Visual Studio in Blend. Come on. Can I? Can I not? Can I? Please, let me open something. Coding Freaks, Xamarin Forms. Can I open this, please? So you open it at the same time. It's kind of the idea, and it's not supported. And I'm pretty sad about this. I'm late to this. What are you building here? What do you mean? Just an experiment? Kind of, yes, Brenton. It's an experiment. Yeah, it's just. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I was pretty unhappy with this several years old thingy. If you go file new project and you say Xamarin, whatever comes out here, out of this template, I don't think it's a good idea to do this and start with this. And that was kind of the starting point. And I was so mad about what was provided here by Microsoft that I said, well, obviously I have to show some people who are interested what I did to make this cleaner. And now we are definitely in the proof of concept stage, but currently we are nearing to some point where this gets finished a little bit, and then the next time maybe I will have a look at what was it. Let me think about what maybe the third part is, but let me first wait how the response is. So, first of all, removed blend stuff as suggested by community. It's work. Oh. Wait a second, before I do it, I get distracted all the time because I love to talk to you guys, but I have to concentrate on the following. Is this still working? It is. Okay, now go away. That's it. Okay, that I just wanted to check this out. Cool, you were right. So, I think that was it for today. I have to write down what my idea for a third part was. I had it just in between and I don't know what it was currently. Oh, I know what it is. You know what I want to do? Just in the third thing. Now I know. There's one thing only that I want to test with the new stuff, and I don't know, I don't have time today to do this, but we are heavily using, where is it? Items view model. We are heavily take usage of observable collection. And I like it because it enables us that we have those list of things which are automatically updated, and because observable collection kind of is a collection which implements iNotify property changed, basically. So what I want to check out is the next time, what if an item in an observable collection is iNotify property changed, and if I directly change a property of that item, is that being propagated to the UI? So I'm not adding or removing an item from the collection, so I'm not changing the collection, and in this way I'm not raising the property changed of the collection, but I'm changing an item inside of this collection. And I want to see if this gets propagated to the UI. If you want list that update, check out reactive UI. Yeah, dynamic. Yeah, I know. Reactive components. Yeah. That is totally cool. But it's again, it's another approach. Okay, it's another pattern. I love it. totally. But for the moment, I want to take a look at the defaults like iNotify property change without any other package, because it could work just like that, and we kind of will rebuild part of the reactive components. It's kind of the event-driven idea. Yeah, you're totally right. You got it. You got my idea. So maybe we will take a look at this next time, and I think it will be next Saturday, like 8 p.m. my time, so Central European time again. So if you guys can join, I would be very, very glad. Would love to hear from you. Just the naming part. Yeah, maybe. I don't know reactive UI, to be honest. I read about this. I never used it because I kind of, went over to more the web UI stuff. And then in the last years, I did a lot of backend stuff and Azure stuff. So I kind of lost track there. And I read a lot about it. And I love the ideas which I read. But let me just test out some stuff and play around. Let's see what's going on. So thanks for the cool feedback today. I got a lot more feedback than usually. I think it was basically only Brandon. But anyway, thanks, Brandon. Love it. So maybe we'll see each other next week. Maybe this was kind of interesting to you. And it's still not something which I would take to production, what we see here, but it's definitely better. Yeah, you bind it to observable. Yeah, I thought about this because kind of reactive is a round of observable and property change and stuff like that. It's just all about events, the reactive. Maybe we have a look at it next time. Why not? Maybe we check it out and learn something here together. It's not always that I have to know something, but maybe we can learn together. Like, I don't know if you like me watching other guys too. I think so. So I have one guy from the cyber defense, which is John Hammond. A shout out to him here at this point. I really love his channel. I really love his approach. And if you want to know why I do things like I do them, it's because I like his channel. So let me just make a little advertisement. I don't think he needs my advertising at all. But he is kind of a good... Oh, I just flashed you. I think it's just John Hammond. Oh, it's not. Okay, let's go and let me bring out... let me search for him so that you can see him. Here you go. This is John Hammond. Maybe you saw him already. And it's not about Xamarin Forms. It's just about to explain why I do things. He's live currently. He is he live? No, he's not. I thought he's live currently. So I'm excited without any reason. Anyway, I like the stuff he makes and how he makes it, and that kind of explains why I make my stream like I make it. Okay, sorry. So, yeah, just that you know. Again, thanks for supporting me. Thanks for being here with me, like 2 hours or so. Yeah, 2 hours nearly. And I hope I see you guys next week. Be careful. Stay healthy. You know what's going on. I don't know. Yeah, see you.